what's going on, everybody? Check it out. We're about to do this real quick. I'm gonna need you to take these time to make sure you're hitting the share button. And welcome to the Lions Den, y'all. Get ready, buckle up, because we're about to get it in. Yo, what's going on? What's on, everybody? Welcome to Lions Den with Seth. I'm Seth, y'all. Hopefully you hit the share button, y'all, because we got some good stuff to talk about, right? We're back in the den, and these are discussions in the den. Wouldn't be able to do this without you, and most importantly, without my other Lions up in the building. What's going on, fellas?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Yeah. Yo, Nate, what you bobbing your head to, bro?
Man, I love that intro, man. I don't know about y'all, but I be getting so damn hype, man. I be in the back like, come on. Hey, I love it, man.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. You know the crazy part, man? Listen, I don't know if you've been watching or individuals that's really following the den, but we're always getting paused when it comes down to our intro because of is apparently coming up and saying, there's somebody else that has this music, whatever the case is. But do you know I made that beat 15 years ago? Crazy, right? Crazy. So guess what? Hey, you can't stop my own shit. So anyway, what's popping? Hey, Big Herm, what's up, man? What's up, dog?
Man, hey, I'm still trying to get right over here, man. You know, my speakers was off. I'm trying to share the video.
Bro, what's going on, bro? Look, you didn't had a birthday and you didn't get all discombobulated.
Yeah, bro. When you get older, man, your motor functions don't react as fast, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm good now. I'm good, man. Yeah, I just had my 42nd birthday.
Yeah.
And, my family made me feel special, even though I don't be wanting that. I just be wanting to chill, but my wife is my wife, and she's going to make sure she celebrates me. So much props to her. You know what I mean? So, but more importantly, did y'all see the video I posted when I was in the gym? Let's end the discussion about me being light skinned from now on because I'm putting people to shame. That's all I gotta say about that.
Listen, Larry. Look, Larry, did you see it?
I didn't.
Look, you don't want to. I'm gonna tell you what this fool did. Okay, he's in the gym, all right, and talking to this gentleman, say, "Hey, I need you to let us know." He's sitting next to this young lady, right, around my complexion, a little bit lighter, maybe. He put his hand out next to her and said, "I need you to tell us who's darker." And the fool said, "He is." And they said, "I told y'all. I told you." He put this on live, bro. What is wrong with this young man, dog?
How much you pay him?
Man, I ain't pay that. I don't know that dude.
Yeah, you did.
He got complexes, man. But Larry, what's going on with you, man? How's your week going?
Weekend was cool, man. Pretty solid. Wrapped up our first week of practice for 10U, man. I'm coaching football again this year with my son. So it's hot as I don't know what out, and just trying to get these boys prepped to try to go for the championship this year.
Yeah.
Hey, man, y'all been good with that flood that y'all had out there?
Yo, man.
Y'all see
everybody that's out there, man, it hit a lot, man, in St. Louis, y'all. We're praying for those folks out there, man. And people have lost a lot over the storms, man.
Yeah, my people's been good. Thank God, man. My people's ain't experienced anything, but I mean, it did hit the city pretty good.
Yeah, it did. Big Nate, what's popping, bro?
Man, nothing much, man. Just thinking about what y'all just stated. I know Scott Air Force Base got hit pretty bad, but yeah, St. Louis. I was like, oh my goodness, I couldn't believe it. But yeah, so we, just one day at a time, right? Went through that. We're resilient. We bounced back, and now we move on to big and better things. So,
yeah, what's all that you trying to show us back there, man? What you got?
He got it angled too, don't he?
Let me tell y'all something, man. Herm, Herm, I wasn't gonna bring this up, man, but I'm glad that you did. The first intercollegiate fraternity black fraternity known as Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, established December 4th on the Ice Cold Tuesday, 1906, and Cornell University, Ithaca, New York. So I'm proud, of showing off,
absolutely,
these wonderful. But I crossed the Bernie Sands back in fall of 21 in DC. This is something that I wanted to do for such a long time. So it really paved the way for where I am now. So
okay,
absolutely.
Is that the paddle they smacked you with, or what?
No, man. I don't know about that. I just thought about, I said, you know what, I got to get one.
It's dope, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yo, well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, everybody that's in, welcome. Hey, let us know where you're watching from. If you from St. Louis, from Chicago, Texas, whatever, just let us know. Boom, we're in the building, y'all. We're talking about a whole lot, but most importantly, the baby boy syndrome. Now, all right, so look, we're gonna talk a little bit about the baby boy, right? The movie, The Baby Boy. Y'all remember that movie?
Yep,
I do.
All right, tell me what y'all remember about the movie.
I remember old boy cooking breakfast butt naked in the house, man. You know what I mean? That's a phrase that you never want to see. That the dudes that's knocking your mom off is in there cooking breakfast, talking about you hungry, butt naked. Come on now.
Oh my God. See, all right. Well, look, and listen, shout out to everybody, East Coast, the kitchen table. Okay, look, so all right, so here it is, y'all. The Baby Boy. All right, it came back out in 2001. Believe that? Can y'all believe that? 2001? All right, so basically it's the American coming of age hood film, written and produced and directed by John Singleton. All right, and stars Therese and Snoop Dogg, Vin Rames, Omar Gooden, and also Taraji P. Henson. But so the premise of the movie is when a young man is holding on to either staying at the crib, doing things on a quote unquote baby boy level and don't want to really step out on his own. Now, here recently, y'all, there was a situation that that kind of happened way back. Well, I don't know, not necessarily back in the day, right? Listen,
dang.
See, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna leave that alone. My bad.
No, you gotta do it, man.
So, but anyway, y'all, look. So this video came across us, and we really thought that it was a great a great way to talk about this issue. And we're not going to play all of it, but what we want y'all to do is just wrap your mind around, is this something that resonates with you? If so, y'all chime in, y'all. But I think this is a real good concept. So y'all give me 1 second. Get this on up so we don't got no more issues in the world. Oh, there we go. Y'all ready?
Let's go.
I'm looking like him.
You grown and you gotta go somewhere. I told him, you don't understand, you ain't going no damn way. You go when you get ready.
Man, I just feel like at some point you need to make your own way. That's what I want to walk through life next.
We got a little technical difficulty.
Y'all there?
Going. Yeah, we here.
Yeah, that's stuff that fell off.
Yeah. Hey man, who was that trying to play you like that, man? With your age?
Man, I don't quite understand that, man. This young lady, man, she doing great things. I can't believe she sat up there and put me on Front Street like that.
Yeah, you Mr. Silky Smooth, man.
Saying I was 38 back in 01. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm 38 now. Am I 38? I don't even know if I'm 38 or not. I'm about to be 40. So I'm 39. I don't know what Miriam talking about.
Hey,
seriously tripping.
So in that video,
cold with it too,
man, real smooth. That video was about to get into. So I don't know how long we're gonna have Seth out, but for our listeners, what the video was going to get into was a stepfather speaking to a grown son. I think he's about 21.
Like
hold
29.
on.
My bad. Yo, my fault, y'all. Hey, listen, the damn dog kicked out the plug for
oh,
my fault. Hey, did y'all watch it? Did it show?
No, you gotta go ahead and play it.
Right,
10 seconds.
10 seconds. Yeah. Okay, bet. Move. Got it.
Let's put our stuff on mute. Yeah. I think we're hearing back.
Y'all was back in. Okay, cool, got you. Give me 1 second, y'all. Y'all stand by. We in there. We in this building. All right, we got it. Trying to get this situated in the dang dog. Come around.
See, that's what you get for talking about me with my technical difficulties.
Yo,
now look at you. See how the Lord works. You know what I mean?
Man, shut up, man. Listen, you can't tell me how the Lord works. You go to church 3 times and now you in the choir. All right, we got this. Boom and boom.
That's what I walk you out naked sometime, and there you go. So I mean, what,
No, if anything, you can go now. How about that?
You don't tell me where I go.
The thing is, like, why do I gotta get to my mom's house? Like, why do I gotta go to my mom's house?
Period.
Man, you down there 40 years old, down there, it's time to go. I mean, at what point?
I'm 29 now.
Well, that's pretty good. 10
But you
years
know what?
away.
When I met you, you was living with your mama.
Man, please.
You
I
was
was
living
in
with
and
your-
out. Come
You was
on,
living
man.
with your mama.
I
Now
was
you gonna tell
22
me.
years old.
Now you gonna tell me because he's 29.
I ain't getting up. I'm not getting up.
Man,
I'm
you
not
got to
going
go.
I'm not going nowhere.
Yes,
My house.
well,
And you ain't gotta go
You know
nowhere.
what, damn it, I ain't gonna pay no bills either then, damn it. Now, how do you feel about that? You don't want me to go, I won't pay the bills.
You
But
gonna
he
continue to pay
he
your
got to
bills.
go, man. See, we arguing and stuff about stuff.
But at the end of the day, all you gotta do is tell me to help. I ain't saying nothing. Like,
Man, you
so
grown
that's-
ass man. You supposed to know the man, garbage overfill. You supposed to know to take that outside. Come on, man. I don't have to tell you all this stuff, man.
The thing is, I'm barely here, so I'm barely making go.
All right, y'all. Okay. All right. Y'all back in it. Oh man. All right. Go ahead. You unmute, Larry. So fellas. All right. So now what do y'all think about this? What do y'all think? Like, is this some look now, who knows? It could have been staged or whatever, but the reason why I believe that this was so important is because this happens in real life. It happens in real life. Larry, man, what you think, bro?
So at 29, though, that's a problem. I'm just gonna tell you where I stand on this. At 29, that's a problem. All right. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't leave the house until I was 23. And I joined the Air Force. I joined the military at that time, just because I knew it was just time to do something different. But in between me graduating high school and leaving the house, officially leaving the house, I stayed in dorms at the colleges and stuff, and then came back, and worked and paid. I didn't pay like rent, but I paid utilities and gave money for food. I gave my fair share. Okay. And then I was still, stacking my money and doing what I was supposed to do. So here's my thing with this, though. At 29, when I listen to them talk, it's almost like the mama is pacifying the baby, the boy, and the daddy is, trying to do what daddies do. We're trying to make men out of our young boys. And I don't think he's trying to just throw them out there, but he's like, hey, man, you need to come up with a plan, because you're 29 years old. You still walking in this house, and I'm trying to walk through this bad boy butt naked with me and your mama. And you still, here you come. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, think about the Friday movie when Pops came out. He's like, every time I'm in the kitchen, you in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? It's like, at some point, bro, you got to go. And at some point, what the fine line is between setting our kids up to be successful when they leave the house so that they never have to come back. And if they do, it's okay. But at the same time, it's like, at 29, like, come on, how far along are we going to go with this? Is he going to be 35, 40 years old before he get out and get his first apartment? So me personally, I think this is a discussion. It ain't just a black folks discussion. This is all people's discussion. At what is the appropriate age that we tell our kids, it's time for you to go? That's open up to all of y'all.
Yo, man. All right. And listen, there's a lot to unpack in that little bit of time. Okay. And listen, shout out to Miss Zena. She says, 29 is a bit much. First of all, 20 anything to me is a bit much. But hey, Nate, what you think, bro?
Yeah, I think it's dependent upon the household itself and what establishment that, the connection that lies within. But I agree with you. Like, there's a grace period, right? I would say at some moment in time, you have to tell yourself, okay, if this is not working out, then I know I need to sit up there and move on to plan B. But you better have a 3-year plan established ahead of time or whatever to make sure that you're good to go. And I'd be damned if there's going to be anybody that's going to be sitting up there living with a mother for free or whatever, saying that, hey, let me stack up my bread without helping out with the bills or anything like that. You must be a damn fool. But I mean, you know, to each his own, man. Everybody different, but you know, not everybody's gonna think like Steph. Not everybody's gonna think like Herm. Not everybody gonna think like Larry or I. You know, in these decision making. So it's just one of those things. You know, what is the member going through? Do they have a well established plan? What does their outlook look like moving forward? So it's a lot of caveats to that.
It is. All right, so Herm, check it out, bro. This is the deal. You do understand this was a stepfather, okay?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
coming into his old lady's spot, right? And so apparently, her and her son has this understanding. Now, what do you think about the situation?
Here's what I think, because I mean, I grew up with a stepfather. You know what I mean? And first of all, I don't see me talking like that to him. But anyway, at 29 years old, right? I mean, I see what Lily's talking about, and I want to address the difference between son and daughters a little bit later. But at 29 years old, right? You are not, and just speaking on this video where the kid's not really doing with not a quick grown man's not even helping take out the trash,
bro.
Right? Let's just speak on this video, and you know, I know they're talking about what if they launching businesses, what if, but we're speaking on this kind of instance, right? Where the guy's not even helping take out the trash and really not contributing anything to the house. That's what we're speaking about. All right. So at 29 years old, you're not helping your child out, your grown child out. I don't even know how to describe him. You're not helping them out, because what happens when you're dead and gone?
See,
and they've been so used to living off of you and not being held accountable for anything. Don't even know how to pay a bill. They don't know how to pay a bill. They don't know how to take out the trash. Can't cook their own food. You know what I'm saying? They are literally toddlers in grown people's bodies. You know what I'm saying? All they know how to do is just exist inside the house. So a parent is thinking that they helping their kid out. You're not kicking my kid. That's my only son. But he will never develop into a man under that environment.
Hey, what you said, and you know what? I believe that's the other part of it, right? I believe that in this situation, the mother and some mothers, right? This is my only baby. This is my only. And so I understand that there is a protective, instinct going on there. However, there's a balance, and it's time to kick his ass out and fly, not let him fall and die and splat, but let him feel life. You dig what I'm saying? So shout out to Sharita. She says, yes, everyone is different. However, 29 is over a decade after graduating. 10 years is more than sufficient. Mom is being an enabler. Right. And I agree. I do believe that if we are doing our jobs, and really establishing rules, and I mean, y'all, I want y'all to go into these comments because we do want to talk about them. But if we've been going over these rules and everything, blah, 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 you should want to get out the crib. I don't want to make this comfortable. You can stay as long as you want. No, because I've done A, B, C, D, and E with you and for you. You see, now it's time for you to walk in your own, green pastures. Go ahead, Larry.
Hey, let me tell you the flip side of this too. If you listen to if some of y'all watch this video, right? This not only impacts the mom and the son, but it's also going to impact the mom and the stepfather. And here's why. Yes. Because the mom, not the stepmom, the mom is already siding with the son. So now to me, as I watch it, it's 2 against 1. So now anything he says or do, if he try to not necessarily discipline him because he's 29, but if he try and weed him out or get him on the straight path, now it's almost like, well, my mom said I'm good. I can stay here as long as I want. So who are you? And now you got that faction going on. And it's like, to me, after that conversation, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Me and old girl, we through anyway. Just absolutely. That conversation, it's true. A wrap, because you're not gonna win that battle.
No, you're absolutely right. And then also too, y'all, just to let y'all know, those that haven't seen the clip, but there comes a time where in the part of that clip, he says, well, listen, I'm paying all the bills. I ain't gonna pay the bills.
But it ain't his house though. That's the problem. He paying all the bills, but it ain't his house.
You see what I'm saying? So, it's so crazy. But the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we do in our communities, and we create wedges. Right? Because we don't want to, in my mind, this is just my crazy little mind, we do not want to establish a growth process and groom our children to be adults. We are so afraid, and based off of what we think society is going to do to them, we're not giving them the tools to fight back efficiently. Nate, what you think, bro?
No, man. Like you said before, man, you gotta get that man out that nipple, man. You gotta get out that breast milk. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing. And then the second thing is, one of the things that people have to realize is that you will always have a home, right? Yeah. Your family would never let you fail to rock bottom to the point where you don't have an establishment to come back to. Correct. Now, on the flip side, I could see if he sat up there and said that, hey, I'm going to buy this house or whatever, and now y'all can live with me and I'll take over everything moving forward. But my main thing is that, you know, my stepfather is my father, right? My stepfather is my father. So, you know, it's one of those things like, what do you want for yourself? You know, and there comes a point in time where the mother is going to have to disengage and start to let the man step up to the plate and say, okay, you know what? I know I'm not your father, right? But this is what I'm doing in support of this household. Tell me exactly what your plans are. Tell me how we move forward. Tell me, you know, what it is that you need from us in order for us to make sure that you're set up both personally and professionally. But sometimes, you know, they lean back to the nipple and they sit up there and they say, hey, you know what? I get what you're saying, but my mom told me that I'm good to go, so I'm going to stay here as long as I want to or whatever. And as long as I have that backing, nothing else would change because the mindset becomes crippled.
You're absolutely right. And I'm about to give this back to you, Herm. But to your point, man, the wife or the woman, she is establishing where the man's place is in front of her son. You see what I'm saying? And people don't understand that you already jacking up the structure in front of him. And so you're letting him know my place is here and yours is back there. And that's how it's going to happen. What you think though, Herm?
And man, she still see her son as her man. You know what I mean? And that's the issue. You know what I mean? You got a lot of that going on, that where the mom looks at the boy not just as her son, but as the man figure in her life.
Correct.
And she can't let that go. You know what I mean? That's why she easily tell her man who's paying all the bills, you can go. I got my man. You know what I mean? What I need you for. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that 29-year-old is not paying no bills. So, but let me address something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, like Nate said, man, you always have a home, man. Sometimes as an adult, even me as 40, a lot of us are a couple of decisions away of being homeless. Right. I get that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And if I got to go back to my parents' house, that'd be a very humbling experience. You know what I mean? But I will do it, you know what I mean, in order to get my family ahead.
Yes.
But to just sit up in there and just be drinking juice all day and not have a plan to go move forward, and my parents allow me to do that, what kind of productive life am I going to have as an adult moving forward?
So it is. And so look, y'all, as a matter of fact, let's do this if y'all don't mind. Let's do maybe a few more seconds of this, right? Because there's different layers of this. Y'all good with that?
Yeah, I want to talk about the difference between the son and daughter, what Lily asked about.
Cool. Yeah, and I think that's huge. So look, let's do this real quick, right? I think that we can dive into a tad bit more because there's so many different layers of this that that we're not really touching on, but that really makes some sense. So stand by.
I'm barely here, better make it garbage, better make it just like why I do anything.
She gonna always make excuses for the man.
Right, he don't even be here. So what is you talking about? He don't be here like that. He come here, he sleep, and then he don't business the rest of the day.
When he's here, he needs to help out. He needs to do some things.
Well, I tell you what, he ain't paying no bills, and he ain't got
my mama says I can do it.
He got paid. What I want him to do is save his money and do what he needs to do with his money and not pay no bills.
Because all this stuff she brings to him, he still got the titty in the mouth. You let all that stuff go on.
No, you know what I know? You jealous. You jealous of my.
Now I need to stop right there. I need to stop right there. You get what I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen? Hey, first of all, everybody, look, we're here on the Lion's Den, y'all. We're talking about this baby boy syndrome. And there's so many different things that we see right now that contribute to the enabling of men and women in the household as far as living their lives. Okay, so that was just a small illustration. But please make sure y'all hit the share button, Go ahead, Big Herm. What you was going to say, man, about the difference between the men and the women?
Well, I wanted to ask you guys. I mean, I'm only a father of daughters, you know what I mean? And I can only imagine what I would be like if I have a son. But you know, as everybody knows, it's different when you see the child. So I don't know how I would truly be if I have a son, but I would imagine that I would have different structured roles for both of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's certain things that I probably would allow my daughters to do that I will allow my son to. Like I could see my daughters, if my daughters is figuring it out, you know, being there to 23, 24, but I'm trying to get them to get to where they need to be at.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what y'all think about that.
So Hearn, let me go. You know, I'm gonna be the first to tell you, right? You know, I have a son and I have a daughter. It's going to always be objective with my son. It's going to be subjective with my daughter, right? Because I feel like, you know, as a son, you know, you've been equipped with the tools and resources just as the daughter has. But we're going to be more. How can I put this? We're going to be more. We're going to dive back a little bit. We're going to be more vexed with our daughter. But I want to go back to the son real quick. So this man probably had a job at the age of 16, and you know, going back to the story or whatever, not to get away from the subject, but I would take it that this young man had a job at the age of 16, ain't never paid a damn bill in his life, right? So you telling me that you're 29, you had 13 years to sit up there and save, and all of a sudden you still sitting up there in the household. Man. And then I want to blame the stepdad for wearing that Green Bay Packers hat, because that's the reason why he allowing that to happen. You know, that's the second thing right there. That's the second thing right there. And then the third thing is that I mean, everything that we're saying right now, we're getting it from the comment feed. Mm-hmm. Everyone is on the same page, right? Mm-hmm. It's that, you know, hey, there needs to be a moment where the mother and the stepfather needs to sit up there and have a discussion aside from, you know, that member or whatever. But dude, I mean, if you've been there since 29 or whatever, you need to sit up there and give me a 3-year game plan on what the outlook looks like.
I'm gonna tell y'all how y'all know Nate military as hell, man. This man calling the man kids members. So you
subjective and objective.
Yeah, you know, you gotta have a conversation with that member. I'm like, you like
you ain't counseling them. But look, at the same time, I believe that at the end, that's what it is. See, what you gonna do? Blame it on the damn soldier? So check it out, y'all. At the end of the day, we have to know our kids, and I believe it's our responsibility to arm our kids with everything they need to go out in this world and prosper. Now, I do understand some people feel as though, look, they not ready. If they're not ready, whose fault is it? Come on now.
It's not the parents' fault though. I disagree with that. But
all right, whose fault do you think it is?
It's their fault. It's not always the parents' fault that our kids are not ready to go out into this world. Even though, like check this out, and I'm getting personal. My son had a what's the class? They had a personal finance class that he did not take serious. Even though I show him, hey, come in, let me show you how I pay the bills, what everything looked like. I try and show him all that stuff. Uninterested. Now he out in the real world and he's making these decisions and still not including us in some of these decisions to kind of get our input. Not necessarily say we tell him yes or no, but just get our input. He refused to do that, and then he found himself in a bind. That's not the parents' fault, bro. That is the kid's fault out here trying to be grown and do grown things and not understanding the whole perspective of what you're doing and the decisions you make. Right. That's not my fault.
No. What I mean by that is it is the parents' fault when they are the sole source of giving that information and they don't have it and they don't provide it. Because our responsibility as far as being parents is to communicate and to articulate the consequences and self-accountability. So they're going to make whatever decision that they want. So no, at that point, it's no longer your fault. You dig? But when you gave them everything that they have or need, you gave them every tool and they still want to screw in a light bulb with a hammer. Come on now. But if they don't know how to screw in this damn light bulb after X amount of years, come on. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, that's a prime example of being privileged. And I'll leave it at that.
Absolutely. It really is, bro.
That's privilege. That video is privilege.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, come on, man. You know, when you sit up there and you say, oh, we don't never get an opportunity, we don't never get a chance, that's every chance and opportunity that you're given, you know, over and over and over again. That is privilege, you know? So if you're not taking advantage of that, if you're not willing to think outside the box, you condone that. That household has condoned that. And I applaud. Exactly.
Yeah, and listen, look, shout out. Look,
That's
first of all,
true.
let me go through these, right? So it's look, some parents aren't equipped to be proper parents in the first
This
place.
is
That's
true.
true. Sometimes as parents, kids still raising kids. You're right.
Man, I'm trying to
get
tell
what I'm
you. I
saying?
mean, you think about, like, take me for instance. Well, I told you a story before. When my daughters asked me, you know what I'm saying, to help them with their homework. And I told them they need to copy off the other kids like I did when I was in school.
An
You know
idiot.
what I mean? I can't. I'm not the one to ask for homework help. You know what I mean? YouTube will copy some goddamn body. You know what I mean?
I can't stand you, bro. I can't stand you. Hey, hold on. Look, y'all, look, let's go into these comments, right? So
yeah.
Shout out Crystal. She says, all right, you can't let me see, you can have a child and I'm sorry, you can give the child the tools if you don't have them. You're absolutely right. The Crystal, shout out to you. She says, you know, the maturity of young adults. Okay, so you do know the maturity, and that's what I was saying earlier, right? Some are not ready. As parents, it's our job to prepare them for the outside world. Some kids are ready, some are not, and some are trying to hold on. Every household is different. And check it out, to her point, there are some kids, listen, they know that they mama is go let them stay in the house, and they know it. They don't want to go out them stairs. They don't want to go outside. Him ain't ready. So every time him ain't ready, mama say, well, listen, I'm gonna take care of my baby. I don't care what nobody say.
Right.
And just remember, these kids got a mind of their own too, bro. I understand we keep saying it is our job as parents to prepare our kids, but y'all got to understand, man, we're in a new generation.
Yeah.
You see, look, that's what happened when he started talking crazy. No, it muted his stuff.
But I agree with Larry, man.
Yeah,
one size don't fit all, man. Because I know some people out there be like, yo, no, my kid ain't gonna join the military. You know what I'm saying? And they kids is just staying at Domino's or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you really need to provide your kids the opportunity. You know, don't talk down on careers when it probably could help them.
And, and to your point, real talk, it'd be individuals saying, my child ain't gonna do this and that, and they've never tried it themselves. Right. So how can you advise somebody on something what they shouldn't do if you didn't have the wherewithal to try it yourself, or maybe you wanted to, but now you're still trying to live through your children? Nate, what you think about that, bro?
Man, let me tell you something. I muted myself or whatever. I had to step away, man, when Herm made that statement.
Yeah, he's a nut.
I'm keeping it real, man.
Hey, man, I spit out my drink, man. So let me tell you this. Kids will hear what they want to hear and see what they want to see.
Right.
And, you know, they only practice, they only do what they're taught. Right. And so it just, that bothers me a little bit. Like I see, you know, if you need to get a leg up, right, if there's assistance that's needed, but you better be bringing something else to the table. But go back to your question. My bad. What did you say before, Seth?
No, I was just basically saying is, you know, when is it appropriate, right? Or like what type of conversations do you think we should have with our children? Because I do understand that you need to know who they are, right?
I got to answer for that after Nate.
Yeah, but just like, when do you know what I'm saying? When do you see? Because also, and I understand too from Larry's point, man, look, the thing is that our children did not ask to come here. You understand? That's at the end of the day, they did not. So our responsibility is to give them everything they need to survive. That's our real job, right? Right. Like, even if you don't like them, you still got to take care. You should still take care of them. And part of taking care of them is giving them the right tools to take care of themselves. Right. Yeah. But so, Nate, when do you stop, though?
You don't.
It's twofold. And I think Herm is going to say the same thing. You don't stop. Mm-hmm. Right. I think it's that piece where, you know, that's that invincible piece, right? You don't stop. You're always going to have that mindset in the background or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so, however, you can still stay afloat and continue to encourage the member, you know, daily to say, hey, where are you at? What's going on? What are you doing? I want to go back to Larry. I want to go back to Larry's point, though. You know, Larry,
we talk about children, you know this, right?
Not members, dog.
No, I said members. My bad, man. Hey, man.
Nobody's in processing, dog. They're not in processing into the military right there, man.
Let me go back to Larry's perspective, man, because I think it's a touchy subject in the sense, you know, I grew up, you know, with my stepfather being in my life, and that's one of the hardest things that you could ever do. when, you know, all you had was your mother. You know, we had our mother raising, you know, 4 kids, single mother, working, you know, 3, sometimes 4 jobs. And then all of a sudden, you know, we get someone else to come into the household. It's different, right? And so it's one of those things. It's like there's only so much that you're going to listen to, right? Mm-hmm. That he has to say. But however, that consistency being the mother has always been there. You know, I didn't really open up to my, and I don't say stepfather, I call him my father. I ain't really opened up to my father until literally I joined the military. You know, so it's a process, right? Yeah. And I would say for you, Larry, it's a process. You know, so when you sit up there and you say that, you know, it ain't always on the parents and so forth and so on. I know you as a brother. I know you as a man. You done an exceptional job, and you done everything in your willpower that you could possibly do.
Yes, sir.
You have to let them go out. You have to let your son go out and, you know, just experience.
There it is.
You know, that life is not easy. Life would never be easy, and it wasn't meant to be easy. So we have to be okay with letting individuals know that it's okay to fail, right? We're going to have your best interests as a last resort, but you have to go through these trials and tribulations in order to be, in order to prevail moving forward.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. So
one thing before we wrap this segment up.
Go ahead.
And members, talk to the members.
I'm talking to the members out there. Hey, one thing that parents of today need to understand is that we at a disadvantage of our own parents. And I'm gonna explain why. You know what I mean? We didn't have the same influence that our kids have today. You know what I'm saying? When our kids looked up to people to look up to, when we looked up to people to look up to, we looked at our parents and the adults around us. Our kids got social media, they got phones and stuff like that. They are influenced by everybody in the world. You know what I'm saying? They're seeing all this different stuff. So they're not just being talked to just by you. And you could say, well, just take the phone away, but that's not the life we living in today.
Correct.
It's not that easy no more.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So it's got to be a constant, always inside your kid's life, inside your kid's ear, understanding what they're being told, and you know what I'm saying, figuring out what their thought processes are when it comes to certain things. Because man, they are being talked to about everything from every angle. You'll be surprised what your kids know. Look at my mother-in-law.
Go ahead, read it.
Said parents off. You gonna have me reading in public?
Man, go ahead.
This long period. Okay.
Read slow.
Parents are facilitators. It's your job to introduce as much information and instruction as possible to assist them in development of life plan. Know your child. What do they want to do with their lives? Do they want to get life choices? Do they work to get life choices in motion? And that'll stand the test of time right there.
There you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome to Lions Den. Angelic, I see you over here. Yeah, I wish you could have been on the show. Hey, you know how to contact me. You know what I'm talking about? That's what it is. All right, Miss Lily Wilson. She said it's hard to find the balance in this. Sometimes we work hard on this. Yes, and that's what we need to do. So, before we go into the next segment, make sure y'all hit the share button, right? Because every time you share this, we're sharing this information. But brothers, I want to know, are y'all okay upstairs? Like, are y'all okay? Nate, you good?
I'm good.
You good? Herm, you straight?
I can't answer that, man. I don't know if somebody from the VA is watching. You know what I mean? I plead the fifth.
Man, you stupid. Look, you're done. You're good. Okay. Larry, you good, right? You good, bro? And see, you
still muted or something.
Yeah, you got muted yourself.
Yeah, I've vented my frustrations offline, but yes, I'm good, brother.
That's good. So, and ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to give us feedback. Give us a hashtag, I'm okay, or I'm working on it. Okay. And we're talking about your mental health and how important it is. Y'all listen, we don't talk about this a lot. And then as we talk about what we're doing for our kids and what our kids should be doing, are we really mentally prepared to give them the right information to live their best lives? Right. So y'all let us know, right? This is just a real quick sanity check. Are you okay? And now we're going to transition. All right. We're going to transition to how individuals are talking about their mental health. And so it's an inside look on what people perceive individuals should, how they should act or whatever. But this is a conversation between individuals. So I want y'all to watch this, right? Just watch this and just with an open mind. get up in this business real smooth. All right. Let me share this. Here we go.
State right now, it's like motherfuckers only care when it's time for somebody to die and the cameras to show. It's like, bro, motherfuckers is out here showing every day that they need help.
The only people in your life who haven't stolen from you are your kids. Now that you are an adult, now that at least right now you're out of basketball, are you searching out other people to build adult relationships with, or are you so, or is everything that's happening in your life is so difficult?
I don't leave the house. I play basketball and I go home. I don't care what y'all do. Like, all I care about is playing basketball all day. I go home and I try to talk to my kids as much as I can. I don't see them as much as I can because I'm not traveling as much no more. I don't know what to expect when I leave this house no more. You know what I'm saying? I don't talk to nobody. You know what I'm saying? I've reached out and I've reached out and I've reached out and I've reached out and I've reached out. So I got to die with some kind of degree.
That's not sustainable. Like, you too young, bro. That's not sustainable, bro. You can still play ball. So that's not sustainable.
So I can come up here. I can tell you somebody else. Like, I'm willing to do it. I'm gonna turn my head back, but I'm gonna put a smile on me. You don't gotta put nothing on for me. I can just sit back and I'm gonna tell you what it is. Like, I'm not. I know that's not sustainable, but at the same time, like what?
None of us can do it. None of us can do it alone, bro.
Reach out.
Go out, talk to people, interact with people. Like, real talk. I'll call us three. Right? You be in Miami? Y'all party. No. We don't party, bro. I'm talking about you have kids, I have kids. Come to my house. We can get bounce houses for the kids. We can sit back on the porch, drink a couple beers, drink some wine, hang out. Like, bro, that's not a normal, successful man's life to sit up in the house like that. Like, you gotta find good people, and us three can be good people. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's that. No disrespect to what y'all got going on. I've been trying to find good people for so long. I'm tired, bro.
I would say this: it's a 100%, but it's so okay to be tired.
Like, I got, you know what I'm saying?
All right, brothers. Go ahead. Make sure y'all unmute. So, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why we played that is because this is just an example. All right, this Michael Beasley, right, basketball player, very promising, individual and career, until he started really talking about mental health, right, and the things that was going on with him. And so this within this platform, I forget the name of it. Herm, what's the name of that platform, that show?
That's called Pivot.
Yeah, the Pivot. Okay, and then so the brothers is really talking about, essentially, you hear this. We all have a place and a space where we may not be okay, but how do you find that safe space to communicate that, and also how important that is? Nate, what you think?
That's important, man. I watched this, right, and the first thing that came to my mind was a poem called "Test of a Man." If you don't mind, can I share it real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, "Test of a Man" by Author Unknown. Test of a man is the fight that he makes, the grit that he daily shows, the way he stands upon his feet and takes life's numerous bumps and blows. A coward can smile when there's naught to fear and nothing his progress bars, but it takes a man to stand and cheer while the other fellow stars. It isn't the victory after all, but the fight that a brother makes. A man with driven against the wall still stands erect and takes the blows of fate. With his head held high, bleeding, bruised, and pale, is the man who will win and fate defy, for he isn't afraid to fail. Test of a Man by Author Unknown. And I tell you, that is deep. That is deep when you see something like that, when you see someone that's essentially begging for help. Like, I've crossed all avenues that there may have been, and it seems as if, there's still not enough. And I would hope that, which I have no doubt, that those brothers would sit up there and invite, Mike to their homes. But the one key thing that I took away from that, not only the message, but we are where we are right now because of a village. Mm-hmm. We're not here on our own, right? Absolutely. So we know that ultimately that's what it's all about. And so that's what he needs to tap into.
Dig it. What you think, Larry?
Yeah, well, one, I want to give kudos to him for actually coming out and saying that on a podcast like that with so many followers. So you can tell he's hurting, and just to come out and just say it the way he did, you can see the hurt in him. Those brothers are going to reach out to him and try and get him, somewhat stabilized as best he can. I appreciate my circles. I got different circles for different circumstances. It all depends on what's going on, but I've been lucky at every base I've been to and been stationed at that I've had a small group of people that I can actually confide in and talk, vent and do all this other stuff just based upon life, not just necessarily the military, but just life stuff, everything that comes with that. And sometimes you got to find an avenue to get that stuff out of your system or it'll eat you alive. And I can tell it's probably been eating him for some time, coming from that world he lives in, from college sports to the NBA and a lot of the fake friends that you get because of the money and the fame that comes with it. Who knows what he's been through? I know they was talking about, if you watch a little longer, they were talking about people stole a lot of money from him. So he got a lot of trust issues going on, emotional issues, and just a lot of other things, probably things from his childhood he haven't even addressed yet that he's dealing with. And he's crying for help, and I hope he gets it.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
I got a lot of things, right? So I really hope Channing, you know what I'm saying, the one that was Channing Crowder, the one that told him that he can come to my house, I really hope he meant that, not say that just for the show. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, you heard Michael Beasley say, I've been searching for good people for so long, I have to die with some dignity. Mm-hmm. That's the stage he's at right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's just sitting back. He's been putting himself out there. And the thing is, people will say stuff. They will say stuff, but never have the follow up. Mm-hmm. Hey, yeah, I'll be there for you, man. We're going to hang up. We're going to link up. But as soon as we're done with the interaction, you know what I'm saying? Time goes by more and more, and I'm not really thinking about you anymore.
You know yes. And to your point, the reason why I can understand and why I hear where you're coming from is because we're all dealing with our own stuff too.
We are.
And always, like it don't stop, bro. It don't stop. So I'm gonna say, first of all, I'm gonna make sure I give y'all flowers now, right? For being the solid brothers that y'all are, right? And just different levels, right? Different levels, because I know I can holler at Herm about something that really don't matter sometimes, but then sometimes I can lean in and boom, 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 and we go back and forth. Same thing with Nate, Will, even Foots, and also Larry. You know what I'm saying? We can do that, but it's not easy because of our pride, right? Because of our ego, because of what society sometimes have put us in boxes that we don't even know we're in sometimes. You dig? So when it's like, hey, I'm hurting, I don't know how to really navigate. Like I had to call her this weekend, just real quick, just like a 3-second call, like, yo, I would normally be tripping about this. I need you to let me know if I'm tripping or not. You see what I'm saying? Because the way I'm thinking right now, if I'm communicating or operating in a different space, individuals will look at me like I'm crazy. Am I crazy? Sometimes it be something that small. Am I okay? And so when I asked this question, right, earlier, yes, you know where you are, but also when you're bouncing your ideas or, just your words and things off of your true family, your true circle, your true unit, if you will, they will be able to say, no, you missing the mark on this one. Or you know what? You are all right. Trust me, you okay. You get what I mean? We need that. Now, what do you think about that, Nate?
It's the member, right? It's the member wanting to put themselves out there and, be vulnerable. I agree with Herm. It's one of those things that I hope that, the member will take the time and follow through. It's twofold for me in the sense of, did you feel this way when things were going right, or you only feel this way when things were going wrong? Did you feel this way early on in your career, or are you only feeling this way because of the aftermath? And so there's other entities or whatever that also plays a part, in my mindset and, how I'm thinking about this whole scenario. And, when we talk about trust issues and, all those things, what were you doing? Even if you may not have been, financially, literate or, whatever the case may be. what have you done to progress in those stages moving forward? And don't take this the wrong way, but hell, have you reached out to Delonte West and spoke to him about, how he was able to sit up there and overcome, exactly what he went through?
He back on the street.
But it's just one of those things. It's just like when you say you reach out, rely on faith. Don't sit up there and just depend on man or whatever to sit up there and, answer what it is that you have that's going through or whatever. We can only do so much, but you got to sit up there and say, okay, where I fuck up at, what is it that I need to do, moving forward and accept that accountability. I'm not saying that, mental health is one of those things that can be easily, that you can easily overcome. It's not, right? I mean, we all go through it, but there's a trigger point in our mindset where we stop blaming and we start to sit up there and say, hey, you know what is it that we have to do moving forward?
And yes, you know what, Nate, look, and I'm gonna just touch on that real quick, man. Sometimes if you're not honest with yourself, you're going to surround yourself with individuals that's going to still support that negative thought processes, right? And then what happens is you can get that convoluted. Is that faith talking to me, or is that someone that's still hurt just like me? You get what I'm saying? Because look, when you're talking to healed people, the conversations are different.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So people have to be mindful. And so I do agree. That is accountability is a good point. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
No, and let me add on to that. I have to learn to protect my energy, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Once your burdens start to become my burdens, I got to release.
Bruh.
I have got to release. I cannot sit up there and continue to take that on. That's not what I'm about. I can't do that. And very seldom do I say I can't, but that is one of the things that I can definitely sit up there and say. Now, if you want to use me as a plug to move forward in another direction, I can be that for you. But it can't be those, standard conversations of I can't, I'm doing, this is happening. No, we need to start talking about how we progress moving forward.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
So I want to flip it. Go ahead. You had something, Larry? Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I was just going to say, when he talked about he's tired, he keep reaching out and reaching out. I guess my question would be, who are you reaching out to? Are we reaching out to our peers, our ball players, or are we reaching out to professionals that can actually help you, guide you, mentally, spiritually, and physically? So when he said that, I get the inkling that he's reaching out to his other peers, but not the professionals that can actually help him and guide him.
Mm-hmm. No, a good point.
So I want to flip this as something that is more tangible for us, right? You know what I'm saying? Being military guys and being, just working class people. I remember when I heard that a lot of people committed suicide after retiring from the military, right? And I never quite understood that. Now, make no mistake, I never thought about committing suicide, but I do recognize the drop off of where you were and where you're at, you know what I'm saying, for a lot of people when they retire. And I understand where a lot of people wouldn't be able to handle that. You know what I'm saying? I went from working at AMC, command level AMC, seeing Master Sergeant, you know what I mean, to back at the crib, I'm just myself. And if you're not comfortable with your own self, man, that could be hard on a person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That could be hard on a person. So it's like you go from people always calling you, looking for advice about what to do with their career, to those conversations not happening as much.
They're not calling you no more.
You know what I'm saying? It's not happening as much because you're not really plugged in to all the people the same way. You know what I'm saying? So, like when you think about that, what Michael Beasley's talking about, you know what I'm saying? He was at the height of his career. People stole and leased from him, and now he feels like he's kicked to the curb. A lot of military people will feel that way too upon retirement if they're not comfortable and secure on who they were outside of the uniform.
First, you're absolutely right. And so what we're talking about and what you're not insinuating, but what you're talking about really is the imposter syndrome. You get what I mean? So when individuals do, or they hit certain heights or whatever the case it is, and situations change, if they don't get that same validation, they feel as though they're worthless at that point. They feel as though that their life is no longer valid anymore. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Miss McKenzie. She says, I think it's important to be able to support someone in a way that they receive it similarly. right? To the capacity to speak to someone's love language versus just their own. Wait, not everyone feels supported in the same manner. Absolutely. So even just that, the military at that point, since we're talking about it, I was in dark places before even getting out, but I had to realize how important it was to find that why. And I believe sometimes us, right, individuals, not just black men, white men, whatever the case is, individuals in their certain points of their life, they forget the intentions, the original intentions, as far as what they started to do. And then they start to get distracted. And then when that, that pretty thing is gone, now they're like, wait a minute, what am I doing again? Why am I doing it? Oh, I was only doing it for her, or I was only doing it for him. So I don't have anything else to give. You know what I'm saying? Nate, what you thinking?
No, that's spot on. And I will sit up there and I will add too, let's reverse that, man. Let's take a look at vice versa. There are individuals out there right now that, has been retired and, still feel like they work in that capacity or whatever in a civilian equivalent. So I one of the things about me,
and listen, hey, check it out. Hey, it's
crazy as hell.
Hey, still get it on their signature block. Colonel retired.
And here's the thing, right? And here's the thing. I think what most people forget is, it's their name.
Shut up. No, you forgot it. You dropped it.
They forget their name.
That's what it is.
And the thing is that no matter how many chevrons, stripes, bars, or whatever it is that you have, I was Nathan Jackson before I came in. I'll be Nathan Jackson when I leave. So
you weren't always Nathan Jackson. Sometimes you're Nicholas. Sometimes you're Nicholas, depending on who sees you.
Depends on who.
I thought you was Nicholas when I saw you, man. When I first saw you, I was like, "Hey, what's up, dog?" He's like, "You don't know me, man. You know my brother."
Yep.
So sometimes you're Nicholas, but continue, bro.
No, man, but I'm gonna sit up there and gonna say, man, never lose sight of that, and I think sometimes people get caught up because we had this discussion earlier, brothers. You sit up there, and the more and more you move up to the top, the more it becomes devastating. It becomes hard because it's like no one's there. You're mentoring everybody else, but who's mentoring Herm? Who's mentoring Seth? Who's mentoring Larry to make sure, that you guys are good to go and that you're on the straight and narrow? You don't get that, man. It's like you climbing the tallest mountain, in the world, and you're suffocated because you're basically out there on your own. So it's hard.
It is. Hey, Larry. So what you think, bro? What, man? Look, your final word, man. What you thinking?
So my final word is, like, obviously we hit it hard on the mental health piece of it. So I ain't really got to reiterate any of that. Like, take it seriously, get you a circle, find you a clean, good circle of people that can actually look out for you and have your best interests at heart. Right. But going back to the whole baby boy syndrome, this is the one thing that I put in the chat and some folks commented on this. The entitlement piece, like, understand the difference between, and make sure your children understand the difference between you are privileged to afford these things versus you entitled to these things, because we have to draw that line in what we're doing with our kids as far as spoiling them with all the stuff that we didn't have coming up and we feel like we can give them to the world. Make sure you understand and they understand the why behind a lot of those things. Not everything you buy, but just knowing the difference between being privileged and being entitled. That's just my final thought on that.
Big facts. Go ahead, Herm.
Hey, first I want to give a shout out to everybody that's watching. You know what I mean? Really, really dig the interaction that you gave to us. Got to give a special shout out to my mother-in-law. She was watching the whole time, Charlesetta Shelby. The topics that we touched on are important. We're hoping what you do with it and just think about it. Sit back and think about it and think about how we will operate in those circles. Leave us some comments. You know what I mean? Tell us if we were off target on something, or tell us if you agree with something. And then also, when you go to our page, leave us something that you want us to talk about. That's all I got.
There it is. There it is. Go ahead, Nate.
Stay the course.
Stay the course.
Stay the course is my final word. No matter what you go through, stay the course.
Absolutely.
To all you members out there, stay the course.
Yeah. All you members. Hey, so look, y'all. Hey, so look, check it out. This has been an outstanding show. And again, just like what Herm said, I want y'all to make sure y'all go click on the link that you see in the comments. Let us know what y'all think about the show. And listen, there's some of y'all that want to be on the Lions Den, and it's okay. Come on in. If you want to get bit, this is where you come and get it. But no, real talk. Go into the Lions Den, right? Hit the menu part, and then it says to register as a guest. And also, too, ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all following us and make sure you're following the page, because you will see that I'm doing a boot camp August 20th. All right. It's a podcast boot camp for those of you that want to have a podcast and they say, hey, I always want a podcast. You got all the equipment, but you don't got all the equipment. Let me give you all the equipment to help you put all your equipment together. You know what I'm talking about? We're going to talk about everything that you have, how to talk about your shows, and also how to monetize. So we're going to do that. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Lions Den. We appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody that's been tuning in and that's been holding it down. This is what we do, and we would not have been able to do this if it wasn't for you. Right on. Later.